All right, let's go. Welcome back to yet another episode of Two Plant-Based Brothers. I am William the teacher. This is my brother.
Daniel, one a huge Dodger fan.
No, you're supposed to do the A.
Oh, sorry.
What is going on?
Hey.
Look at this, everybody. I promised last week. I made it happen. This is the Fawn statue in Milwaukee I was talking about because this guy's been doing A.
I did a one show. One show was last week.
No, you did like 3 weeks in a row.
No, one show.
Anyway, well, so much for that. How you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. How about you?
It is Monday, so those out there.
Got my ballpark water bottle. Look at
Yeah.
that. Look how filled up it feels, right? Missing
Wow.
missing three. They're all kind of near each other too.
You got Florida?
Nope, that's Florida's are the two I'm missing, both Florida teams. And then what will be the Las Vegas A's. A's.
Well, I went to Oakland Alameda County Stadium before they tore it down, so I got the A's.
Yeah, and you told me because I was thinking about it when you did that trip. I was like, "Ooh, should I get up there before they leave?" And you're like, "You know what? Don't. Not worth it."
Is that what I said?
Yeah, you said don't go. It's a dump.
It was sad. It
Yeah.
was sad.
No. So I was like, you know what? I'm okay that it says the Coliseum on my bottle, right? I'm okay doing that, and then going to the new ballpark. That's fine because there'll be a couple like that on this bottle, I think, but that's fine.
Yeah. Anyway, in case you didn't know, we're talking baseball today, and this is being recorded on 27th of July. It'll be released on this Friday, just ahead of the trade deadline, which I believe, Daniel, is Monday.
Yep, August 3rd this year, which is a late trade deadline than typical.
It's later than typical.
Yes, I think usually it's the
I
end
wonder
of
why
July.
they did that.
Yeah, I don't- maybe just how the season started. I have no idea.
It used to be the end of July. I
Right.
don't know.
Yeah. Maybe
Anyway.
because July was on a Friday. I don't know. End of July.
I don't know. Je ne sais pas, man. They say.
Je ne sais pas.
Yeah, so we're going to be talking a few things, and by the time this gets released, who knows how much is still applicable.
Yes.
But let's recap very quickly in the fact that Daniel's team is doing very well, and William's team is hot. We just
3 wins in a row as of this
3 wins
recording.
in a row against a team that's lost 12 games in a row.
That's good because those are sometimes the teams that, I hate to say it, like whether it be the Padres or even the Dodgers, right? We lose to teams like that sometimes, right? In baseball, it happens.
So Miami is reeling, and the Padres have won 3 in a row. We are currently at 500, just a couple games out of the wild card. But I think what a lot of people want to know is, are we buyers or sellers?
Yes, that's the huge news because you guys, even though a couple games out of 5 or a couple games out of the wild card, I think there's like 4 or 5 teams like in between you, right, and that wild card spot. So that's a huge question that's on the minds of a lot of folks because, William, we got some assets to move if you were to want to sell.
Nothing.
Nope.
I'll talk about that, and we really have nothing to sell. Besides 1 or 2 pieces, and those should not be moved unless. So we'll get into it. So you know, Dodgers are looking very good, so they might be looking to add. What might the Dodgers be looking to add?
Well, there's a couple of things that come to mind. One, starting pitching is always a need, I think, in Major League Baseball, a need for the Dodgers. I'm going to name 3 kind of go-to starters that have been for the Dodgers over the last couple months. They're not big names, and I don't know how familiar you are with the Dodger rotation. I'm unfamiliar with the Padre rotation. I don't know if I can name one.
There is not a Padre rotation. Let me cut you off right there. We currently do not have a rotation. What we started doing these last week or 2 is just letting guys go like 2 or 3 innings and let another guy go 2 or 3 innings.
Tuning, right?
We have Michael King and
I think I heard of him.
Walker Buehler, washed up Walker.
That's right. I saw that because he started against the Dodgers. I saw that.
So we have Michael King having a really good year, just not getting any support.
Yeah.
Right. lights out, great pitcher, number one starter. And then you got Walker Bueller, washed up Walker. And then you just got even Vasquez is no longer quote unquote in the rotation. He's going to pitch
Mm.
a couple innings. JP Sears is going to pitch a couple innings. They're going to bring in a couple other guys. It is an absolute disaster when we're talking about starting pitching right now.
Yeah.
So tell me about
I'll
your
tell you
wonderful
about
starting pitching.
I'll tell you about our one. Well, we're dealing with a lot of injuries, and so that's it was a script last year. A lot of injuries to our starting rotation. It's the same this year. So the likes of Eric Lauer, right? Oh yeah, huge name, right? Big name. We got him actually
Yeah,
from
former
Toronto.
Padre, Eric
Yeah,
Lauer.
former Padre. There we go. He's 4-0, and since joining the Dodgers, his actual record is 5-5. So he wasn't doing too great with Toronto.
No.
So he's been a great addition, but he doesn't like shine. Okay, he's like a really like what would you say consistent starter over these last few weeks, right? I'll say Emmett Sheehan, who's been with the Dodgers for from the Dodgers farm system up. Does he ring a bell to you? Do you even know the name?
Yeah, did you say Ed Sheeran?
Emmett Sheehan.
Oh yeah, I thought it was Ed Sheeran. Yeah, no, I've seen this guy.
You're seeing up right, eating up innings. Hasn't been doing like anything thrilling, but eating up innings is what we need, right? And then the other one who is like, hey, he made his first NL All-Star team this year, which is Robleski with the W, by the way, and he's 11-2, man. Like just dishing and dealing, like great. Both Imochian and Robleski were two of the non-big headliners that played in Game 7 against the Blue Jays last year that were starters, but actually came out of the bullpen in the playoffs. And so, like, that's basically the big ones, right? Obviously, you have Yamamoto and we have Sasaki. Those are other two starters, basically, that's been happening because Shohei's been hurt since just before the All-Star break, his knee. So he hasn't actually been pitching. The likes of Tyler Glasnow has been out, even though they are coming back soon, and Blake Snell, right? So
Has Blake Snell pitched at all this year?
I think he started one game at the beginning of the season and then went to the IL. So, like, we've been
That
hurt,
guy's a joker.
but William, I don't care as long as he shows up in September getting ready for October. That's all that matters to me, right? It feels really good as a Dodger fan to see our record where we're at, especially in the NL West. We're still battling kind of that first place in overall in NL, but just because like these I don't want to say no names, but not as recognizable names have really been leading this for us has been incredible, like incredible. Also, our big name acquisition, as we said on our last Dodger Padre podcast episode of Diaz, has been nowhere to be seen too for our closer, right? So, safe to say, I need to knock on some wood. Tanner Scott has actually looked like Tanner Scott when he was on the Padres, and so it feels good to have that. So I say all that to say my biggest takeaway, William, is the Tarek Skubal, situation and rumors and all that. I don't think we're going to go after him. Everyone's predicting the Dodgers to do some sort of trade. We have the farm system for him. I just don't think it's necessary because these other guys not only are getting healthy, and then the guys who have been in their plays have been pitching well. So I don't think there's any need for a blockbuster deal from a trade deadline for a starting pitcher. Will we get an arm? Possibly. I just don't think it's going to be any big deal out there. So that's my number one kind of big
Okay,
acquisition.
so just let me just break in here. I mean, if you have an
Sure.
opportunity to get Scooble, I mean, why not get Scooble? I mean, crying out loud, if you have a loaded farm system, who cares? Forget the prospects. I mean,
Because
come
of
on.
next
The
man
Dodgers
up.
can sign anybody they want at any time. I mean,
No,
what
it's
is the why not?
because of next man up. I think this year and last year is a perfect testament that it's the Emmett Sheehan, it's the Robleskis that have come up from our farm system and have been amazing starters in addition to our rotation. When they came on the scene last year, really, at like whether it was midway through the season, I think it was. There wasn't like, oh wow, like this is going to be, these are things. They came up because we had so many injuries, and they had to. But that depth of that first starting roster lineup with the Tyler Glasnow and Blake Snell signings the year before, right? We're like, these guys aren't even going to get an opportunity to come up in this rotation because we have such a big farm system, right? But what happens? They get hurt. These big blockbuster moves, signings of these veteran guys like a Blake Snell, a Glasnow, injuries happen in Major League Baseball all the time. So that farm system, in my opinion, is our gold, right? That's our treasure. So I wouldn't trade it away for even no once in a whatever lifetime Tar Skubal type guy, right? Rumor on the street too is that I think Detroit's not doing too shabby over this last week or so. So they might not be out of it and completely selling just yet.
Yeah, and that's the thing with adding the additional playoff spots,
Hmm.
that maybe more teams stay in it longer, and
Right?
maybe that's the reason they moved the trade deadline back a couple days. I'm not sure,
But
but
don't get me
yeah,
wrong. I would love to have Screwball on the Dodgers. I would love to see him a Dodger blue. The guy is ridiculous, but I just don't think it's going to happen. That's my takeaway.
all right, there you go.
So that's
So,
number one. Do you want to go to my second one, or you want to chime in for you guys?
yeah, might as well say there are. Well, there's one. There are two people that I would say are very coveted by others, right? And
Hmm.
that's the best closer in baseball, Mason Miller,
Yep,
right?
he's
Um,
close, man.
who's been unhittable, right?
Yep.
But I mean, what does it matter if you don't pitch? So there was like a week where the guy couldn't even pitch because there's no reason for
I
him.
remember that.
He had
Yeah.
to come into like an 8 run game to pitch. But yeah, we gave up the number 2 prospect in baseball last year to get him,
Hmm.
right? So if they move him for a bag of peanuts, I'm going to be livid.
Yeah.
I'll be absolutely beside myself
But they would have to
because
get a big
he is
package back for him.
controllable for the next 2 or 3 years, I believe.
Yeah.
So whether we have baseball next year or not, I don't know. We're
Yeah,
gonna
we'll
see.
see.
But he's controllable. There's no reason to move him now. So the only way I move Mason Miller is if you or anybody out there is willing to take on Xander Bogart's contract.
Yeah, you want to do a lump deal so you can get rid of the commitment to
Gotta
him.
gotta get some salary. That's the only way. I wouldn't even take a player in return. I'm not looking to refill the farm system. Just be able to cut that contract out, right?
Got it.
Bogarts is a serviceable player. You don't pay someone a serviceable player the kind of money he's getting paid up until the day he's like 85. He has a contract, right? You know, he's going to get paid. He's due like $47 million when he's 74. These
Dang.
are exaggerations, folks. These are not real
Don't
statistics.
quote him.
Thing is, what he does have is a no trade clause.
Yeah,
So first of all, no one's going to do that. Even with Mason Miller and a couple of years of controllability, is that a word?
sure.
They're not going to take on, but someone who knows. I mean, who's your closer right now?
Tanner Scott has been our closer.
Hey, Tanner
I
Scott's
think
an eighth inning.
he has 16 plus saves this year.
He's
That's
a
what I'm saying.
great
It's
guy in the eighth
miraculous.
inning, really great in the eighth
I
inning.
agreed.
And Xander's uh, veteran presence in the clubhouse. I
Mhm.
believe he won a World Series with the Red Sox. It's going to
Yeah.
be great for you. Okay. And all you got to give us back in return is a bag of peanuts.
I love
Okay.
beans, yeah.
You get the best closer in baseball. You're going to be
But you
unbelievable.
know that
And
would
you
never,
could cut Bogarts and it wouldn't even hurt because
yeah,
you're not even paying anybody for most of your players aren't even getting paid till 2040 or something like
yeah.
that.
But you know
Like
that
Shohei
obviously
Ohtani's been
that would
deferred,
never
deferred.
happen interdivision, trade like that
Okay.
of that caliber with the
Well,
Dodgers. Plus, Edwin Diaz is slated to come back, our closer, actual closer. Not too far in the distant future. And again, with our record and how we've been playing, I don't think it's an urgent red alert for us for the back of the bullpen. Now, could we use an extra arm or two? Always, right? And so I'm predicting we might get some reliever. I think we picked up some guy from Colorado maybe a week or two ago. I don't even remember his name, but some reliever of
yeah.
sorts.
And obviously, like trading within the division, that's probably not, it's not going to
Yeah,
happen,
it
right? No,
happens,
it's
but
not going
not
to happen.
for somebody like him, right?
But, however, a team like the Dodgers, a team,
Yeah,
big money team,
for sure, for
who
sure.
has some flexibility, who's got a lucrative TV
How
contract,
about like
who's,
the Yankees or something? You know
yeah,
they'll pull off something like that. There's been
yeah. I
interest
mean,
there.
if the Yankees, and I did ask a Yankee fan to come on and talk with us, and they never got back to me. So sad
Oh
story.
man.
Yeah. What can you do? I wanted to get some East Coast dirt. It didn't happen. Um, anyway, so that's the one, and then I'll get to the other one after you talk about your next
Okay.
one.
I like how you said East Coast with New York in the background. Yeah, they could have had an opportunity with that background and everything.
Well, this is more like this is America. We're talking about America's pastime. That's it. Go ahead.
The next one is, believe it or not, we need actual catching help. So yeah, Will Smith has been on IL. He's on the 60-day IL,
Ooh,
and he is questionable to come back. I think he's making progress, so he's actually in baseball activities. There's something with his neck, I think, is what ended up happening. And if it's anything nerve related, like like those are the things that like worry me. One, especially for a catcher,
yeah.
right? It's a big question mark on his return, let alone like the end of the season. Like I'm worried long term for him. He's been our ace behind the plate as far as captain, team captain for this rotation, team captain for a lot of different reasons. Really great offensive starter this season, had an incredible season last year, did wonders in the playoffs. So his veteran presence is a huge gaping hole, I think, in our lineup right now. Now, I'll say a couple things. One, Dalton Rushing, I like this guy. I really like
Looks
him.
like
I
a
think
good ball player.
he
Yeah.
offensively he does it. I think he has 11 home runs. I think this year, it's pretty decent, batting average for batting average these days.
No
Based,
one cares.
no one cares on it, but it's still in the mid 200s if I'm not at 246 according to my notes here. So he's hitting pretty well, but they've been platooning him a lot. Williams, did you know that?
No,
So
I don't.
we've been platooning him a lot with a couple different call-ups. So we had Chucky Robinson, guy came we acquired from the minor league contract, didn't do anything for us offensively. I think we either cut him or dropped him back down to the minors. And then we called up a guy named Alonso from Venezuela. He's actually been pretty serviceable. He's gotten a couple hits, doing pretty decent. But from a veteran presence, I think we're still missing something. So about a month or so ago, Dalton got into it with Shohei. It was like all this news. It's a lot of
Wow.
his maturity. He's growing. He's still a young kid, 25, 26, something like that. And so I think the veteran part of it is what's missing here. So I see the Dodgers making an acquisition, not for a starting star catcher that are on the market. I think there's a guy in with Minnesota, Jeffers. A lot of people are talking about the Twins moving. But I don't see us making any kind of splash move like that. I see us targeting somebody just who has more experience. And so the guy who comes to my mind on my little sheet here is Christian Vasquez from the Astros. Won a couple rings, I believe, with the Astros and the Red Sox. Definitely been in the playoffs. Can really manage a rotation. And so
Yeah.
I'm thinking we make a move like that. We would have to pay a little bit for him, but I think it's desperately needed because the guys we've either been calling up from our system just haven't been it. Because Dalton really was the heir to the throne for Will Smith. I just think he needs some help, especially with when it comes to the starters and obviously the news with the Shohei thing that became so big. Um, I think it was a lot of nothing, honestly, in the clubhouse. I think they squashed it, but media they tend to blow things out of proportion. So that's my other 2 cents.
Yeah. And then, so the only other piece that someone may want would be Adrian Morejon for the Padres. He had a
Yeah.
rough start to the season, but since like the second outing, he gave up like 4 runs in a third of an inning or five, something like that.
Hmm.
And for a reliever, that can really set your ERA back for a while.
Yeah, of
I
course.
mean, this guy, I think he's the best left-handed reliever in baseball. The guy is really good and a pending free agent. So
Okay.
um, if we're going to move somebody, it's going to be this guy. What are we going to get back? Don't know. We'll take some
Mhm.
prospects, something like that. But I just don't see any reason to be a buyer here.
Yeah,
Um,
okay. So that's what I was
because
gonna say. Is there anybody that's like sexy to you that said, "Hey, these
no,
these pieces will help us make a run"?
to me, there's nothing that's going to solve this except for people actually coming back from the injured list. And that's another thing. Like if we were to actually be sellers, and I'm using the we now, like I'm AJ Preller's
I
assistant,
do this all the time.
there are some serviceable players on this team. I mean, Jason Adam, Jeremiah Estrada, um, Nick Pavetta. You're talking about really good relief pitching and a really good starter. Guess what? They're all hurt. No
Yeah.
one's going to take. No one's going to take them. Pavetta's on the 60-day IL. Same with Joe Musgrove, who never came back. Probably will never pitch again. How
No.
about Ramon the Laser Laureano? Really good
Love the name.
player. Yeah, in the outfield. He's on the 60-day IL. Miguel Andujar's having a pretty serviceable year. He's injured. Any kind of thing. Maybe someone wants a Ty France, Aztec for life, hashtag
Yeah,
Aztec for
that's good.
life. Really one of our best players. Maybe someone takes a flyer on a Gavin Sheets, but we're talking about mm, trades that aren't going to really help us in the future. You're not going to get some top tier prospect for these guys. You're going to
Hmm.
get something back in return that's big upside.
Yeah.
right? Like a possible, like, something, and, I would move Manny if I could too.
That's what my
Uh,
biggest question, because I think maybe you and I talked about this offline about Manny Machado, and I'm assuming he has a no trade clause,
oh,
or
I'm
does he not?
sure.
Right? And so
I
like,
didn't
is that even a
investigate.
consideration, right? Just to
No, but
shake
look at this
things
guy.
up.
Yeah, but look at this guy. He's sixth in the National League in home runs. He's 10th
Yeah.
in RBI. He's really turned on lately. He's still 52nd in OPS,
Yeah.
but
Good.
you can't move him. But if once again, my dream scenario is find someone who wants Miller, Morihone, and they got to take Xander and Manny. And I
Yeah.
would
Okay.
miss
So you
Manny.
want Manny in the package deal, which
I,
is
I would, but
huge.
that's not going to happen. I have a Machado jersey. I think I
Just
think
for
Manny
that
should.
reason alone.
I think he should finish out his career as a Padre. He's going to be a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
He's putting up big numbers right now, and actually somewhat clutch. But I've never really seen him lead a team to the
Yeah.
promised land.
Right.
Um, I
Right.
don't remember. Did Baltimore win a World Series when he was
Nope.
there?
Definitely
But
not.
he had to have taken the Dodgers to a World Series, right?
I don't know if he participated because I think that was before we went to the. Well, maybe he was in it. No, he was in it. We didn't get it. So I want to say he was on the team in 2017. I don't remember if he was on in 2018.
No, it was a short rental, but I think it
Yeah,
was
yeah.
2018. I think we got him in 2019.
So then maybe he was on both the 17, 18
I don't think
Dodgers.
so.
No,
And maybe he started with San Diego in the eight
maybe.
in 18. I don't think so.
Yeah,
I thought we
we'll
got
check
him
it.
right before Tatis came up, and I thought that was 2019, but who knows?
No, it totally could be true. And I know obviously he
Yeah.
did not win as a Dodger
Yeah.
because we
So
we clearly won in 2020 was our first back into
anyway,
the
so
ring.
we're kind of stuck with what we have at this point. Just let it roll. And the best trades you can make are people, if they're going to get healthy, come back and be healthy.
Hmm.
Because there's no way we're going to get Scooble. But the farm system is just depleted. We've
No.
already given all of our talent is in like low A ball,
Okay.
right? And I believe in AJ Preller that he's going to draft very well, and he's going to have guys that are going to be coveted by others, and
Mm-hmm.
that's really what prospects have been for here.
Mm-hmm.
Trade these prospects and get someone who can help you make that run. But I really think the window's closed for the next 4 or 5 years, maybe, until
Question
you can get that. Yeah.
question for you, only because I was reading an article about this because I think the timing is happening where the Padres ownership is changing like officially like very soon,
Hmm.
but it technically might take place after the trade deadline. Do you think that impacts the GM at all, or is like it just playing
I
it out
I
there,
have no
whatever?
way of knowing, but yeah,
Yeah.
I think I believe
In your
payroll flex.
opinion,
Yeah, I believe no. He's not gonna he wouldn't make a big splash move right now anyway.
anyway,
Anything
got it.
anything that you would do to add payroll to this roster, I don't think is possible.
Yeah.
I don't think it's possible. However, what do I know? Here's one thing I know about AJ Preller. He's
Yeah.
unpredictable. No
Mhm.
one ever knows what this guy's going to do. But I'm not a general manager. No one's asking for my opinion. I think
I
this
asked for
year,
your opinion.
yeah, okay. No one from the team is asking for my opinion.
Okay.
But I think this year, it's just not going to happen. The best thing is to just write it out, see what happens.
Yeah.
If you can get something good for Morihone, you got to take it because he's going to get paid as a free agent.
Yeah.
But also, you don't know if there's going to be baseball
Next
next
year,
year
right? Yeah.
or maybe 2 years.
Yeah, yeah. That's
God
true.
forbid,
Who knows? Hopefully not.
because something has to get done here. There has to be something to where um, teams can be competitive,
Hmm.
or at least they try to be competitive, right? And that's the thing. I mean, I don't watch the NFL anymore, but the truth is, everyone has the same amount of money to spend.
And it's really competitive, the NFL is. No, it really is. And I would say basketball, incredibly competitive. I feel like the last however many winners in the NBA have all been different teams. Like, I don't know if it's like five, six, 7 seasons, something like that. All different championships. So, like, there's not the usual suspects, right? Like when
Mm.
Golden State had their run, the Lakers had their run of like dynasties. It doesn't happen. So no, I'm totally in favor, I think, of that salary cap. In my opinion, I think it also comes with that floor, right? So
Yeah,
making sure people actually spend to
yeah,
it, because that's what drives me crazy too. You got these
yeah.
people who aren't willing to spend, and if I were ever a fan in one of those markets, I'd be pretty darn upset.
I know it, and but I think baseball is just so different in the fact of the farm system, right?
Yeah, that's
I
true.
really, I think
That's
that it's
true.
just so much different than the NFL or the NBA in the fact that you can build something up kind of on the cheap. If, by
Yeah,
being
you
young,
can.
young, 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 young,
That's
you
true.
may be able to catch lightning in a bottle. And
For a short period of time, but it's got it like that's a short window. You got it's a dance, right? The Marlins did it a couple years, right?
yeah, because once those guys mature, you got to sell them.
Correct,
You know,
correct.
then you go through it all over again, and it's just sad state of affairs.
Yeah, it is.
Anyway, that's about all we got.
Yeah.
So here's the thing, guys. If you're watching this and you have a favorite team, what do you want them to do? If something's already happened and while you're watching it, you could let us
The
know.
Dodgers signed with Scooble.
Yeah, I mean, just let us know what your favorite team should do, what you think about our teams, anything. We got a great comment last week from our oldest brother. It was about this long. I really appreciate reading that,
I didn't read
correcting
it.
my
Dang it.
mistakes. And so this is live. I make mistakes, but
It was
who
anything about
knows?
me?
No, it was just like, here's the facts, right? Did you read the comment?
No, I missed it.
You gotta, okay, jeez. Anyway, leave your comments. We love it. I love it. Someone else doesn't read them, obviously, but I love it.
I do read
Okay.
that, just forgot to.
Have a great weekend, and we'll see you guys
All right.
around.
Peace.